Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Tea and Tarot Tuesday. It's your girl, Princess Leah. Welcome back to my channel. We are diving in to July. I just realized that it's the last day of June. I didn't just realize that, but I realized that earlier today. And tomorrow is July. We are halfway through the year of 2026. This is wild. This is wild. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Princess Leah, as I said before. And my mission here, my hope and purpose and prayer is to do the best that I can to do my part to heal the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine through conscious love. And so all of my studies, all of my lifelong experiences and teaching and learnings on this earth school has been to understand what is love, what is divine, true, conscious, healthy love. What does that look like in yourself? What does that look like in your beloved? What does that look like in your career and your children and your manifestations? What does that look like in this world? So, if that is something that you enjoy and want to learn more about as well, or not, oh, I don't know if that's going to change. I think that changed it. Oh no. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Oh, we back. We back. We back. Let me stop. You might be able to hear me, perhaps. Perhaps. Okay. My Tea and Tarot Tuesday live alarm just came on to let me know that it's time for Tea and Tarot Tuesday. Hey. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully it didn't mess up too much of the audio. I did have one time where the audio was not working and I spoke for the entire hour and I didn't have my chat on so nobody could tell me, and I think I forgot to turn the chat off. So if you can hear me, let me know that you can. Since I had the chat on, I do just want to let you know that I most likely won't engage too much because I get distracted, and I want to be able to honor the time for everyone, for all the signs of Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. But let's begin. Usually on my Tea and Tarot, if you're a returning family and friend, welcome back, beloved. I always appreciate you being here. If you're new, the Tea and Tarot Tuesday of our all signs, I usually am sipping on some delicious tea. Today, I'm actually just sipping on some lemon water, iced lemon water, and a probiotic, feminine probiotic. So it's really delicious. It's very refreshing, perfect for this really hot summer day. And we're going to get into the tea of the energy of Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. So once again, I hope you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Let me know. And if you cannot, let me know. But cheers. Let's begin. So I am going to timestamp. That way we can have all the things that you can listen back to, and you can just go straight to it. If you want to pause, return, listen for somebody else, then that works too. So before I begin, this is for the entire collective. We are in Cancer season, so that's why I'm beginning with Cancer. Happy birthday to my Cancer babies. My brother and sister are both Cancers. Got lots of Cancers in my family, actually. I'm a Cancer rising. But I wanted to read this to you first because this came out in my daily divine messages from Spirit for the weekly wisdom yesterday. And it is the fourth agreement from the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And this is express your own divinity or divinity, however you want to call it. And it says on the back here, you don't need the acceptance of others. You don't need knowledge or great philosophical concepts. You have the right to be you, and you express your own divinity by being alive, and by loving yourself and others. So I wanted to share that because life be life, and life came out. Life force energy came out in the Beyond Lemuria too. And I think that this is also a really beautiful card to take with us in this week as well. And in this month of July that we're coming into. So even if you're not a Cancer, sun, moon, or rising, or have it strongly in your chart, we're all in Cancer season. We just had the full moon in Capricorn just yesterday, and it was really intense. You know, full moons are always very big, intense, emotional moons of closing out cycles. And it's a very intentional full moon this time with Capricorn, because Capricorn is very much diligent on releasing things that are not serving them, and releasing things that are not in alignment with what they consider as their structure and tradition. And so, you know, reflecting back on these last 6 months of the year, the first 6 months of the year, and what we want to release in order to go into this following year. What is it that you want to release? My son and I did a release ritual that we like to do on the full moons. Well, I like to do it. I just make him do it with me. But we write down all the things we want to release in order to align with our life force divinity for the second half of this year. So you can do that too, even if the full moon is over, technically speaking, it's still in the potent month, potent days post shadow of that energy, still reflecting on that. And what is working, what is not working, you know, in your life to bring you into alignment with your true, authentic, healthiest self. So yeah, I could talk astrology all day, and you know, see what else is going on. I'm just going to drop it out there. Chiron is now in Taurus, which is really big because this is the wounded healer, healing the wounds around self-worth, self-value, self-love, so that you can expand your abundance and know that you are worthy of all things beautiful, all things amazing, all the pleasures in life's experience. That is your birthright. And so that's exciting. Taurus is, or Chiron's going to be in Taurus for the next 8 years. So get ready, y'all. We're going to be learning about how to love ourselves and how to honor our self-worth and how to build abundance in our life and how to heal the wounds that have blocked us off from being able to tap into that beautiful self that we are. Mercury's also in retrograde. So this is some little astrology forecast. I'm just a little astrology enthusiast, but that's all I'm going to say. Mercury in retrograde right now is very big. This is about reflection, all the RE words, reviewing, reflecting, recovering, reevaluating. And that goes back in congruence with the full moon in Capricorn at the same time that Mercury went retrograde, of reviewing all of this first half of the year. What worked, what was in alignment, what was not, what needs to change in order to continue, in order to grow, in order to make the second half of this year even better. So that's beautiful thoughts to think about. And I'm ready to begin because I be chatting. You know, your girl likes to chat. So we're going to start with Cancer, Divine Feminine. I'm going to read the tarot energies for the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and messages from Spirit for each of the Cancer, Leo, and Virgo signs tonight. And we'll be mindful of our time. I'll try to stay within the hour. If sometimes we go a little bit over hour, but that's why I'm time stamping, so you can always come back. If any of this resonates with you, definitely hit that like button. Always appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And if you ever want to, if you feel like you want to be a part of our itty bitty vibe tribe, definitely subscribe, because we are here, like I said, doing the best we can to do our part to heal the heart of the Divine Masculine and the Sacred Feminine through conscious love. So let's tap into this energy. I ask for the energy tonight to be calm, kind, and reassuring. Calm, kind, and clear. What is the strongest energy for Divine Feminine? Cancer for the month of July. Look at that. The devil in reverse. Capricorn energy right there. The devil in reverse. You're breaking chains. You are ending cycles. You are closing out karmic loops. Yes, with the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. So we have, and then we have the Nine of Wands as a clarifier here. But these are almost like the yin yang, like your light and shadow aspect of yourself. We just came out of Gemini season, which are the twins of the duality. So maybe this is what you're reflecting on this month of July, Cancer, is, you might also be a Gemini cusp, is that, what am I learning? What are the all of the outdated, is what I'm hearing, versions of me that I need to break the chains of? What have I been held back? Where have I been limited in my highest self, my high priestess, high, true, authentic, healthiest, highest self? Where have I been stuck in the flames, in the chains of codependency or toxic addictions, or you know, low depression energy, or false agreements, even conditioning in our lifestyle that we're recognizing is not serving us. It's not aligning anymore, because you are becoming this high priestess. You're becoming what you don't see at the bottom of the deck, is you are becoming the high priestess, the 8 and the 9 of wands out here. All right. You're the reason why you're breaking these chains. I love this devil card because she is breaking the chains here. The reason why you're breaking the chains is because you have, Cancer, Divine Feminine, gone through it. Wounded warrior, wounded healer energy of the Nine of Wands, battered, broken, and bruised. But you have not given up. You have not given up, no matter how dark your past, I'm hearing, has been, no matter how dark your internal has been, no matter how scary, I'm hearing, no matter how dark the valleys of the shadows of death have been for you, Cancer Divine Feminine. And a fly just landed right on my camera, and I'm trying not to swat it, but I'm gonna swat it. So I don't know the spiritual meaning behind the fly. However, flies are annoying to me, so maybe that is what you're recognizing. You're over the annoying. You're just feeling annoyed. You're feeling annoyed by that nagging, buzzing sound in your head that's constantly telling you, you're not good enough, or you can't do it, or you'll never make it. But look how close you are, Cancer Divine Feminine. Don't let these chains of disempowering thoughts, of spiraling, stinking thinking, and false agreements, and unhealthy habits, and fears, and doubts tell you that you cannot make it, because you are literally at the last step. You're literally right there. And the rainbow is right behind you, Cancer Divine Feminine. So do not give up. As tired as you might be halfway through this year, I know you're like, I'm tired, Lord. I'm tired. I'm tired of the same old. I'm tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, Cancer Divine Feminine. But you have to remember, you are rising. This depth, this ground, I'm hearing rock bottom that you might be feeling, is preparing you to go. The only way that you can go at this point is up. You are now taking the shadows of your life, of your experiences, and you are integrating them into wisdom. You're learning that Yea, though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, because you are recognizing that you are the high priestess. That gracious, omnipresent, divine God is with you and has been with you, no matter how tired, no matter how battered, no matter how broken and bruised, no matter how many times people try to chain you down and keep you down and pull you down into the flames of fury, of doubt, of fear. You are not letting that stop you. You are listening, tapping into the wise woman in you, the wise man in you. Feminine energy is within us all, does not matter about your gender. So when I say divine feminine, this is within all of us. This is the life force energy that creates, that feels, that attunes directly with source, God, Jah, Allah, divine, however you want to call it. So that's really beautiful, divine feminine, Cancer. It's a really, really beautiful place to be. You may be feeling like you're in the thick of it right now, but this is the energy of July. And we're not in July just yet. Okay? And you might also be feeling like you've been in this energy before. You are in this energy, you're coming out of this energy. But just remember, you are tapping into the high priestess within. Listen to the spirit, the wise spirit within you. You have it all within you. You know it all within you, and radically accept everything you've been through. Take it as lessons, take it as blessings in disguise as best as you can. Okay. All right. Let's move into the divine masculine, Cancer, for the month of July. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest knight in the deck. I always call this one the Taurus energy, the tortoise, even though the Taurus is a bull. But the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck, but it is also the most loyal. It is also the most stable and the most committed. So with the Queen of Wands here at the bottom of the deck, divine masculine, Cancer, you are saying this may have been a long journey that you've been on. Maybe this year so far has felt very long. You're like, wow, I feel like I just had 3 years in this 1.5 year. Maybe you've been feeling that way. Maybe you feel like the journey that you have been on the last 3 years is finally coming to an end, I'm hearing not a destination. Yeah, I'm hearing a destination, but coming to an end, because you are now finding the space, the place where you can now rest, where you can now place your pentacle, offer your pentacle to whom it is you are offering, to what it is you are offering. You are finding the clarity, using your discernment of where it is best. Because when you place that pentacle to whom you ever give it to, whomever you give that pentacle to, you know that it's going to be for life. So yes, Cancer divine masculine, this may have been a long journey. You may have been trying to figure out and use your discernment with your head and your heart to decide where you want to go, where in the world you want to go, what you want to do with your life, how you want to move. But you got the Emperor under that showing up as the divine masculine himself. And so the Queen of Swords is that balance of your head and your heart. The Queen of Swords is saying, I am going to understand how to come from a place, make this decision, make these moves, coming from a place of a balanced heart, of a centered, grounded heart, because you have this Knight of Pentacles, and a sound mind. I'm going to listen to the next practical step alongside the inspired action that my heart is leading me to. And it might take some time. It may have taken some time to really know and trust that this is the move. Maybe you are moving. It looks like he's moving into the city. Maybe you're moving into the city, Cancer, divine masculine. But wherever it is and whatever it is that you are choosing, you are preparing yourself to commit to it. And it will be long lasting. It will be long lasting because the Emperor is here at the bottom of the deck. The Emperor is here to show up and say, I am building my empire. I am building my castle. I am building something stable because the Pentacles is stable. It's not on quicksand. You're not, flighty. You're not, in this mindset of fleeting. You're not going nowhere. Cancer Divine Masculine. That's what I'm hearing. You might have some Taurus in you or in your chart. Maybe you have some connection with the Taurus energy, or even Libra energy, but that's not as relevant. But that's just someone who wants to pick up that energy. So let's see what messages from Spirit has for the Cancer Collective. I always enjoy doing these every week, and I hope you enjoy being here with me every week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I always trust whoever comes in and out on your way out or on your way in. Hope you're enjoying your time with me. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Thanks. Spirit says, here is the 8 of Pentacles. Thank you, Heights. I see you. The 8 of Crystals. The 8 of Crystals is of hard work and determination, okay? I always think of solar plexus energy, this self-will power. Do not give up, Cancer. Spirit is with you. Spirit is saying you are in this, and you are not alone in this, okay? These kind of like, they want to stay out, but then they want to come in. And so I'm just going to let them shuffle. Oh, now they want to come through. All right, that's a lot. I usually just take one. So we have the 2 of Wands, the 9 of Swords. This one flipped out. The 8 of Wands, 6 of Cups, and the Moon here to clarify this 2 of Wands, because you are making some choices. You're trying to make some choices, but you're in your head. You're feeling, you got a lot of anxiety that's keeping you stuck in your head with this 9 of Swords around whatever decision you are making, whatever choice. Look, it might even be it definitely is a love relationship for somebody, because we had the Lovers and the 2 of Cups that just came out under that. No wonder why you're feeling very anxious, because your nervous system is going crazy, because you're trying to decide what to do in this relationship, what to do in this love, where to go, how to flow, and what works that will bring you your ultimate fulfillment of the 9 of Crystals, Pentacles. So that's actually really beautiful to know that, to see that, what's hidden underneath the anxiety of the 9 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. But to clarify with the 2 of Wands, Cancer Collective, you are being guided. You're being told, Spirit is saying you can take action. You can do this. It's time. It's time to take action with the 8 of Wands. It's time to move. And the 8 of Wands came out for the Divine Feminine Cancer too. And then the 9 of Swords was under that. So interesting that I picked that up, and now Spirit is here to clarify. The 6 of Cups and the Moon, all right? Your emotions are really speaking to you. Listen to those emotions. Listen to the quiet intuition, not the fear, not the loud, screaming, kicking fear, but the peace within you, the calm, kind, clear voice within you. Move in that space. Move from that place. Because this is something that is written in time, I'm hearing. Past life, 6 of Cups. This could be childhood love. This could be past life love. This is love that you know is eternal, because these flames are going through the door of eternity, And she reflects back on the memories of the past, asking yourself, is this just an illusion? Is this just a memory? But the moon knows. Your emotions know. Maybe you're a Cancer moon. Well, we just had that full moon in Capricorn, right as Cancer season began. So yesterday. So listen to, what are your emotions telling you? Where are they guiding you? What are they leading you to? Are you feeling guided in fear and doubt? Or are you feeling guided in love and trust and hope? And do you want to move in this place, but you're over here because you got this 9 of Wands, feeling so battered and broken and bruised because you have been fighting to break the chains of these toxicities and addictions and these, low vibrational, disempowering thoughts and this depression and these anxieties. But be like the divine masculine, slow and steady wins the race. I know this has been a long journey, but don't let your mind overpower your heart. Don't let your heart emotions lead you to spiral and not be able to think clearly either. That's why that Queen of Swords is out here for you, divine masculine. The answers are within you, Spirit says. This is written in the stars for you. This is a divinely orchestrated love for you, Cancer, for those who need to hear that. It is already said and done and signed, sealed, delivered, okay? All you got to do is just get into that alignment of the frequency of that divine love that it is, that you are, that you seek. And that's how you will attract it. Trust, move in that direction. Move in the direction of the feeling of the love that it is that you feel is on its way and that you desire, instead of the lack of where it's not, the emptiness and where it's not. Because the more you focus on where it ain't and what's not working, the more it will increase in what it is you're focusing on. What you think about, bring about, right? Your energy attracts and all that stuff. Abraham Hicks is one of my favorite teachers of the law of attraction, of the path of least resistance, of the art of allowing, and just learning that is so helpful. But there are so many. You saw those chains, divine feminine Cancer. You saw those chains. This is not something that a habit you picked up last week and you can just put it back down. This is a lifelong, generational long, probably, karmic generation, however you want to call it. These are conditions that have been passed down through generations of these kinds of toxic ways of love that you are breaking chains of. You are on the leading edge of understanding, of learning, and not everybody's going to get it, and you're not going to get it, and you're not going to overnight, and you're not going to break these traumas and patterns overnight. But the more you keep doing your best, do your best to express your divinity, then the easier it will get. Trust me, I believe you. I believe in you. Okay, I gotta stop talking because it's time to go into Leo. I always take forever. It's about 20 minutes for you. Thank you, hearts. I see you. Sorry, I know I'm not really communicating. Welcome on, everyone in the chat. I know there's not too many on, but I always appreciate the people who are chilling with your girl. And I usually don't turn my chat on because I get so distracted. So sorry if I'm not paying attention. Otherwise, we'd be here all night because your girl likes to chat. So let's tap into Leo, divine feminine energy here. What is the calm, kind, and clear message of energy for Leo, divine feminine, in the month of July? We have the Page of Cups here in reverse. Page of Cups here in reverse, Leo, divine feminine. And the Page of Swords that came out in reverse. The Seven of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. So there's definitely some inner child energy that's coming through, Leo, divine feminine. But I'm hearing you're not listening to your inner child. Maybe there are some inner child wounds that are still healing. Maybe there are some things in your childhood where you have desired a lot of things and you were told you can't have it. And so now you're not listening to what it is that you're really trying to choose. But you have a lot of options here. You have a lot of things that you're thinking about. You have a lot of things on the conveyor belt of your manifestation. A lot of different places. But here's where you're at. You're pointing the complete opposite way because there's something that is telling you, something within you that is saying, I can't. Or maybe you are, I'm hearing lost, but it's more of a, it's more of a rebellious kind of energy because you have the Queen of Wands. Like, you know what you want. You are confident in what you want, but it's almost like when people tell you to go left, you go right. Just cuz. Leo, you fixed fire, you. Divine feminine. But what you are learning is how to reciprocate, how to be able to receive and offer and give and hear and listen and align and tune into. Because if you don't, you're going to be in this Five of Cups. You're going to be missing out on the Two of Cups that are standing here. This beautiful Two of Cups of partnership, equal balancing of give and take and offer and receive. But if you're focusing so hard on doing the opposite of what everybody else is telling you to do, just because maybe that was your way of defiance back when you were a child, this is just what's coming through. Take it or leave it if it resonates, you know. But I think it's because maybe people have told you that you are a fool, you're foolish. Maybe people have not understood or seen your vision as a child because the Page of Cups is out here again. So you have a lot of page energy and the new world is here. So you have had these visions and these ideas and these, you know, that you write down, or maybe stories that you write, or poetry or music, or just ideas, a journal. And people are, have told you, like, why are you going for that? There is nothing there for you. Look at this cliff. Why do you feel like don't do that? And that may have been what people have told you. Don't listen to, don't do that. They might just say that, Leo, divine feminine, don't do that. And that has probably what has caused you to be so defiant. And so it's not a bad thing to be in that rebel energy sometimes. But right now, what's happening is it's getting to a point where you're not even pointing in the direction. Maybe what I'm hearing for someone is that you don't want any of this over here. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're like, I don't want any of this. And so you are going in a completely different direction. And so that is something that you are going to be really, I'm hearing, tested by this month of July, because Leo, divine feminine, you do know, but you got to stand in that Queen of Wands. You have to listen. You have to stand in that fool's energy of, like, I'm just going to take this leap of faith. I'm going to just go after my dreams. I'm just going to go after these ideas. I'm just going to post this article. I'm just going to sing this song. Whatever it is that you're doing, Leo, divine feminine, take a chance is what I'm hearing. Take a chance on yourself. Take a chance. Make a change is what I'm hearing. And break away. Hey. All right. I like to channel some music up in here. This is not just Tea and Tarot Tuesday, okay? This is a performing arts healing session. I'm just kidding. So, Leo Divine Masculine. Let's go ahead and get into the strongest energy. Also, I just had an incoming message that came through. So what I'm hearing, Divine Feminine, because I came through when I was thinking or talking or channeling for you, pages are also messengers. So this Page of Swords, maybe, you know, you have a message that is trying to come through. Maybe some people call the Page of Swords the stalker of the tarot. So with this reverse, maybe you are oblivious to whatever this message is that wants to come to you, or maybe you are resistant to whatever this message is that wants to come to you. Take it how it resonates, but that's just kind of a little bit of an additional message. If anything else comes through, I'll let you know. All right, Leo Divine Masculine, what is the strongest energy for you for the month of July? The Six of Swords. You are, speaking of breakaway, okay, you are moving on, going to another place, a calmer waters. You're trying to get out of this dodge. Yep, you want to. You're ready for a new scene. Oh, look, because you are busting out of this hell. You are over it. You got the Devil card here with the Eight of Swords here. You are over being stuck. You are sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired too. Okay, so maybe Cancer has a little bit in your chart because there was the Devil card for the Divine Feminine, or maybe you are dealing with the Divine Feminine, Cancer, I don't know. But Leo Divine Masculine, I have to cover up these people here in this here. But I think that this is really interesting that this energy is coming through. That you are taking the leap to get the F out of Dodge. You're like, I can't do this anymore. Maybe you're actually moving states, moving countries. Maybe you're like, I can't handle this crazy chaos in my life, in my career, in my job, in my relationship. Maybe you're like, I gotta go. I need peace. I need peace. Hey, hearts, I see you. Thank you so much. You're saying, I need peace. I need to get out of my head. So the Devil card, before I go into spirit, messages for Spirit, the Devil card is a Capricorn energy as well. Capricorn full moon last night. Okay, Capricorn is this paternal, strict, disciplined, hardworking father of the zodiac. And sometimes this Devil energy can get to the Capricorn. I don't know why it's Capricorn energy, so to speak, but there's this like almost like it can get stuck in the ritual, it can get stuck in the tradition, it can get so stuck in that it turns into dogma, right? Or it turns into military, or it turns into, you know, something that's just like not even fun anymore. Like, well, I used to have fun doing this, it's not fun, right? Like how he's playing music on here and how she's just like looking at herself all, you know, in the mirror, and she's like, it just, this is something that has now turned into more of work, right, than it is of play. That's the energy that comes through of that, and for someone. But what I'm also hearing is that you may have always been trapped. Maybe the Devil energy for you, Leo Divine Masculine, is this mental stuckness, mental health. Okay, because with the Eight of Swords, she is mentally stuck, right? She could walk, her feet aren't tied, and she has some space to move through, but all she thinks, all she knows is the swords that are around her, and swords are of the mind, of the mental. And so she is blindfolded, so she really can't see around. She can't see what it is, her opening. She can't see her opportunities to move. And that's what makes her feel unable, inadequate. And that's what's been keeping you in this hell. The hell of your own mind is what I'm hearing for someone. That's where you're trying, that's where you're moving. That's why you're moving. That's why you're like, I gotta go. I gotta do something different. I gotta do something different. Something has to change. That was the Capricorn full moon energy. Something has to change if you want it to change. If you want the second half of your year to be better than the first half of your year, then you have to do something different. Because we all know what the definition of insanity is, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So the devil energy out here for Leo divine masculine is saying, if you want to get out of this hell of your own mind, you have to think different thoughts. If you want to get out of your mental stuckness and depression and stinking thinking and disempowering thoughts and just like self betrayal and self loathing and feelings of unworthiness, you have to think different thoughts. Leo divine masculine, you have to think different thoughts. You cannot get to love and happiness if your energy is in despair and doubt and fear. You have to take the steps. You have to move. You can't leap from here to there either, because then it's going to feel false and then you're going to fall right back down. And that's what happens too. So that's what you're learning, though. That's why you're taking the boat to move, right? It's the long way, the scenic route, the water. You swimming, you reflecting, and you are figuring it out. You're not taking a plane or a train or a car or by foot. You are using the water, the reflective water, the cleansing, purifying water to move you out of this pit of hell of your own mind. You're learning how to, like, you even have the Page of Cups underneath that. You're learning how to swim, is what I'm hearing, in new thoughts. You have to replace, and the same thing with, like, okay, when think about the devil card also represents like addiction. So when you, if you are an addict and you are recovering, what do you do to recover? You have to not just stop the behavior that is harming or that is not serving, but you can't just stop it cold turkey. That's where relapse happens. You have to replace it with something healthier, right? You have to replace it with something. So if you are addicted to TV, then you can stop watching TV, but you got to replace it with something else that is, you know, that you can still enjoy, but is a healthier outlet. If you're addicted to, you know, cornstarch, you can stop eating cornstarch and start eating peanuts and M&Ms, right? If you're addicted to self-loathing, if you're addicted to telling yourself that you're not worthy, if you're addicted to self-criticism, if you're addicted to, and no one says they're really addicted to it, but we get in such a habit that that energy becomes the familiar and we can't get out of it because there's something that takes over, that we become dependent on from that energy. I don't know why. But, you know, I'm not a clinical psychiatrist over here. But I have done my fair share and are continuing to do my fair share of therapy that I feel like I could teach a class. But I will say, so maybe that's what something you're doing right now too, Cancer or Leo divine masculine. Maybe you are going to therapy, seeking counsel, understanding your mind, understanding how do I break? Maybe you're going to you know, AA or and going through the 12 steps. Maybe you are just trying to figure out how to replace what is not serving you anymore with something that is better for you, so you can show up in this world better for yourself and for the people you love and for your job. And you can, because you deserve better. You deserve more. That's your birthright. You have the 5 of Swords from Spirit, of the battles that you've gone through, Leo collective. But you also have the Star and the Queen of Cups. So these battles are not for nothing. They are teaching you something. But do not give up on your dreams. Do not give up on your hopes. Do not give up on your wish that you have been wishing upon to free yourself, is what I'm hearing. Hold yourself with grace and compassion, Leo collective. The Queen of Cups is about compassion. Be understanding, be kind to yourself. Loving kindness is what you need in this journey. You cannot shame yourself into loving yourself. You know what I'm saying? You cannot criticize yourself into success, because that success is really just a false illusion at that point. You cannot heal yourself with words of hate and despair. You have to focus on the healing. You have to focus on the wellness that you are, to focus on the beautiful being that you are. Because look, the magician is here. You are the magician. You are the master manifester of your life. You get to create your story. You get to create your outcome, Leo collective. You get to. You get to. The star is yours. You guys, you know what I just realized? It's Tea and Tarot Tuesday, and I forgot your tea formations. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Cancer. Okay. Cancer, if you're still with me, all my Cancer babies, here's your tea formation. Compassion is the constant act of giving oneself to others. Okay, well, this is also for Leo, because that Queen of Cups was very much about compassion for what it is that you are giving to yourself and to others. Your wish is your birthright. You came to this earth because of this wish, of this fulfillment, of this life that you are to experience. The best is yet to come, Cancer. Just remember that, okay? The best is yet to come. All right, let me fix my shirt, and then we're going to move into Virgo. All right. So, Virgo babies, my Virgo babies. Hold on, let me timestamp. I hope that really helped, Leo collective. I really do. Giving you love and light. I literally just heard someone say in my head, Leo needs their own tea formation. Sorry, Leo. Okay. All right, Leo. It's actually fortune cookie. Your co-workers take pleasure in your great sense of creativity. See, I knew that. That's for you. You take it with however you take it from that message, because that can track. Lucky numbers 13, 17, 25, 31, 38, and 47. All right. Okay. Carrying on to, where are we now? Let me change that number. All right. Virgo. See the Hierophant here at the bottom of the deck for Divine Feminine. I also saw the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck for the Divine Masculine too. So double Hierophant for you, Virgo. That also gives me Capricorn energy. So what is the strongest energy here? That is a very, very wise, ordained, and blessed. Divine Mass or Feminine for the month of July. What is the kind, clear, and calm message for the Divine Feminine, Virgo? We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. There's something that you don't want to work on, something that you are, or maybe work that you are ignoring or avoiding. That's what's coming through for that. Oop, oop, oop. I see okay, I'm just going to let it fall. All right, I see the Knight of Swords, the Crone of Cups, and the Two of Cups here. And the High Priestess. And then the Eight of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. So the strong energy here is the Eight of Swords. So still being in that kind of mental clarity, mental stuckness. Now this kind of feels like the theme overall for this week for these collectives. But I think it's because of the shifts in the planets of the Mercury retrograde, because all of Mercury, I mean, Mercury is the planet that rules communication and transformation and is the messenger of the gods. So like when it's in retrograde, it is slowing down. So it's asking you to slow down. It's asking you to slow down these thoughts. It's asking you to reflect on what is keeping you stuck. And in congruence with the full moon in Capricorn, which is also about reflecting and reviewing on the first 6 months of the year, and what do you need to close out and end in order for you to be able to emerge and expand. And we talked about this at the beginning of Chiron moving into Taurus, about self-worth, the wounded healer, healing the wounds around self-worth. So all of this energy is now prevalent in the collective. So if you're tuning in right now and you are Cancer, Leo, or Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or just tuning in as a collective, because we all have it in our charts, this is strong. It makes sense why we're having so much mind chatter, mind stuckness, and even these breaking frees of these addictions, which is a beautiful thing. But it's definitely hard in the moment, the valleys, right? The storm clouds. But I'm just gonna say what wise old late Maya Angelou says. God has put a rainbow in every cloud. Okay? So, in the midst of the darkness, in the midst of the stuckness, in the midst of the mental confusion and chaos, there is clarity. There is light at the end. There is a rainbow. And you may not know, but look, Virgo, Divine Feminine, you are the High Priestess. So, don't worry about where your mind might be feeling stuck right now, because what you don't see is that you are going to come into clarity, and you're going to come into radical expansion, radical acceptance, and understanding why you had to be in the spaces that you were in the past, because all of that brought you to the wisdom that you are now, and it's allowing you to expand spiritually. It's helping you to move into a higher frequency of love, of beauty, of abundance. But you have to trust that. You have to trust that. You have to allow yourself to move through it. It's not fun though, trust me, I know it's not fun. But the contrast in life is what helps us to evolve and expand and grow and be more. So the Knight of Swords, the Crone of Cups, and the Two of Cups here. The Knight of Swords, there's an offering that wants to come through, a discussion that wants to be had, a conversation that wants to be had with you, Virgo, Divine Feminine. Or maybe, and maybe you want to have this conversation, and maybe that's why you feel mentally stuck, or someone wants to have this conversation with you. And it's an emotional conversation, but all that you are moving through and learning through is bringing you emotional maturity as well as spiritual maturity, Divine Feminine Virgo. And this can be in a partnership with the Two of Cups. It can be in however partnership you want to see it as, a romantic or a platonic or a professional or a familial. This is about understanding, getting out of your head when it comes to healthy, equal partnership. When it comes to emotional maturity and security, and being able to communicate in a healthy way so that you can meet your partner and your partner can meet you, so you can grow and move and build, whether it's a business, a project, a house, a baby, a family, a relationship, whatever it is. You got to believe that you do know. You have the answers. Listen to the higher self within you. You are the high priestess, Virgo, divine feminine. You are. Listen to the high priestess within you. Listen to God. Listen to your angels. Listen to your guides. They're all helping you communicate what you need to communicate in this partnership. And be proud. I'm hearing, be proud of how far you've come. Be proud of who you are, divine feminine Virgo. Even if right now it feels a little unclear, even if you feel a little bit blind, even if you can't see the next step, even if you don't know what's happening around you, even if you don't know the answers, you can trust that gracious, omnipresent, divine, God, knows exactly where you're going and will always work everything out for your greatest and highest good, no matter what. So I hope that helps, Virgo, divine feminine. Let's get into the divine masculine Virgo energy for the month of July. For the beautiful Virgo divine masculine for the month of July, what are the strongest energies for you? You have the Queen of Wands. Beautiful. The Queen of Wands is a fiery ass. She knows what she wants, and she's going to be just who she needs to be, and she's going to be unapologetic about it. She's very confident. She's very sexy. She's very in her skin. And that is the energy, divine masculine Virgo, you are in this month. Whether you are, it's not gender. We all have masculine and feminine energy, so it doesn't matter. But the queen energy is this strong feminine energy of bringing sexy back, unapologetic and unafraid. Okay, so take that however and whomever you are. The hanged one here at the bottom of the deck. I like the hangman here. Because the hangman, what's interesting with this and the Queen of Wands is that this might be really uncomfortable for you, Virgo, divine masculine, to step into your true, confident, this is who I am, take me or leave me space. It may be, but I'm also hearing that there's a difference between having this confidence and having this arrogance and having this, so maybe with this hanged one energy, you're learning how to look at confidence in a different way. You're learning how to embrace and love who you are and all that you have to offer in a different angle, from a different angle. You're looking at life from a different angle. You're looking at what it is that is planted within you, this opportunity of being your truest, highest, healthiest, authentic, beautiful self. That's pouring into you. That source, God, Jah, Allah, however you want to call it, is pouring into you to love. The Ace of Cups is this beautiful divine love of pouring into your cup till your cup overflows. A renewal of love, a newness of love, a kind of vibrancy that is so abundant that it just overfloweth. It overfloweth. And so that's where the confidence comes in. Not because of the things outside of you, not because of all the people that are, complimenting you and desiring you and wanting you, but it flows because you are receiving the life force energy from source, gracious, omnipresent, divine love. And no one can take that from you. That's why it's so confident. That's why you're so confident, because they cannot take that from you. So it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what people do. It doesn't matter what things look like. You know who you are because you are a child of God. Because you are loved by the most beautiful, gracious, omnipresent, divine. So see that from that angle. Okay, Virgo divine masculine. That's very beautiful. That's very beautiful. See that from that angle. Look at life from a different way, Virgo. Let's see what Spirit has to say for the Virgo collective. We are in our 59th minute. Thanks for hanging out with your girl for this long. I appreciate y'all being here. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that like button on your way out or in. And I trust that whoever needs to hear these messages will hear it and receive it for their grace and highest guidance and conscious love. Amen. So Spirit is saying here, for you in the month of July, Virgo collective, the Knight of Wands. There's a lot of passion in your hands. A lot of power in your hands is what I'm hearing. A lot of magic in your hands. Move with that great passion. Move with the passion of life, force, energy. Move with the passion of confidence and priestess, knowing, all knowing. The wisdom is within you. You have the Seven of Crystals and the Emperor. Spirit is saying the seeds that you have been planting are growing. The garden that is within you, the garden of the, I'm seeing this pentacle that has, you know, that you plant, this one seed that you plant is being rooted, is growing. The Seven of Pentacles is nourishing your garden. Okay, waiting, trusting in the divine timing of its fruit, of its harvest, right? You don't plant a seed and then tomorrow be like, where my tree at? You know? And then next week be like, it's still not here. I give up. And then you walk away and then you never water it again, and then you can't come back and be like, where's my tree at? Like, you have to, Virgos, what I'm hearing is you have to nurture what it is that you are planting. You have to nurture what it is that you are building. You have to nurture what it is that you're growing. So if it's this Two of Cup partnership, you have to nurture that partnership. You have to nurture that business, right? You have to put energy into that relationship. You have to, you know, be consistent, right? You can't just water a plant once a week and expect it to grow if it's 100 degrees outside, right? You have to consistently water the plant, sometimes 1, 2, 3 times a day. You have to consistently check on. You have to consistently communicate with. You have to consistently and transparently speak and share and grow and build. And it has to be, you know, how are you nourishing that too? Are you growing it with love? Are you growing it with anger or fear or irritation, right? Have you ever seen the study, and I'll stop talking because I like to talk, but we're almost done. But Spirit wants me to share this. Have you ever seen the study of people who, it was a plant and an ice cube, different studies, but the same concept of growing a plant based on how the plant grows based on how you speak to it. So if you're speaking love and nourishment and kindness and sweetness to this plant, to this ice cube, this water, and it's freezing, the crystals of the ice actually form a certain kind of flake and certain kind of chrysalis. The plant grows in a certain kind of way, as opposed to if you are shouting at it, if you're, speaking mean to it, and you're, being down on it and abusive to it. Like, literally the ice freezes in like a weird ass, like, crackly way, and the plant grows in a weird, not really healthy way. So that is all to share, to say that how you nourish, how you are growing, you got the Emperor here, how you are building your empire matters. You can build it with force and coercion and guilt and shame and blackmail and whatever. Or you can build it with love and honesty and integrity and transparency and communication and nourishment. You might get you might get a plant, you might get an empire in one hand. But really, what are you building? What is the foundation, and how will that empire last? Not for long. I'm hearing the empire within yourself, because we have a lot of mental stuckness here and a lot of self-confidence that we are building. And the awakening card is under the emperor card. This divine masculine energy of the emperor, Aries energy of the emperor, of empower, right? Emperor, empower. You're awakening to how you want to lead, how you want to run your business, how you want to run your household, how you want to raise your children, how you want to, build this life. Trust in the timing, but you still have to do your part too. Because the plant doesn't grow just from you watering it. It also needs the nourishment of the sun, right? It also needs an environment that it can grow in, and soil that it can build, it can get the nutrients from it. There are so many components, but you got to do your part, and then you got to let the universe do their part, and you got to meet the universe where it's at with your part, and trust that everyone is doing their part. But all you can focus on really is you. All you can focus on is your energy. You're only responsible for the energy that you bring into the room. You're only responsible for the water that you nourish in your garden. Okay? So I said enough analogies of that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. And we're going to say our T formation. I hope all that made some good sense, resonated to whomever needed to hear that. For the Virgo Beautiful Collective. And here is your T formation of the night, Virgo babies. Bring me the sunset in a cup. By Emily Dickinson. Oh, I love these riddles. And it's funny because what were you talking about? The sun and this growth and pouring into your cup that overflows, letting God pour into you, letting source pour into your life force energy, letting yourself express your divinity, letting your life force energy come through in all that you do, because that is who you are. You are the Queen of Wands. You are the High Priestess Virgo. You are the Emperor Virgo, and you are awakening to something super beautiful. A part of you that I'm hearing you have maybe never even met before yet, but you knew it was always there and is coming. So keep on watering it. Keep on letting people water it in you. Keep on letting God water you as well. You're a beautiful plant. You're a beautiful ice cube. And until next time, I hope all of this helps. If you would like to be a part of my itty bitty vibe tribe, definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know whenever I go live. And if you haven't already, on your way out, hit that like button for your girl. It's been a pleasure. I always enjoy hanging out with you. And until next week, when we go into Libra, where's that? What's Virgo after Virgo? Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, I believe. I think that's it. Tune in next week. I will see you in the next moon. Peace and love. Namaste.